You have merely glimpsed the edge of the abyss, but it is enough to trigger the cycle of revelation. Now, like me, you will begin to see things as they truly are.
We all know what that means. People are going to start flickering at me aggressively. Hello, everyone. Science Viking here. It's time to return to Darkest Dungeon. Let's see. What classes do I want to collect? You know, I think I'll just take all 4 of the experienced people.
To fight the abyss, one must know it. Elusive, evasive, persistent. Righteous traits for a rogue.
Okay. Whose equipment is ready to be upgraded? I have a few occultists whose weapons and armor aren't max. I'm in the guild right now. I should be in the blacksmith and want to be checking whose equipment I'm upgrading. And lo and behold, I upgrade one person to the maximum and we're already out of money. Oh, time to go on another mission then. And for clarification, I'm not planning to do a Darkest Dungeon run in every episode. Just every couple of episodes to distribute those runs throughout the last portion of the playthrough. Oh, the Pagan Talisman increases damage against the Fanatic. Alternatively, though, I could engineer a bumper crop. I think I'm gonna do that. Now, who do I bring for this mission? It's the Warrens, so enemies tend to be susceptible, tend to not deal very well with bleeding. So, let's see, let's bring a Flagellant. Trade Suffer for Redeem. So let me think about that for a second. Yeah, I'm gonna keep Redeem and keep him in the front. I have a lot of highwaymen. Maybe I shouldn't have accepted that many highwaymen. Though it does give me an idea. Having a bounty hunter, a highwayman, and an occultist, and then I have a decent mark exploitation set up. Alright. Let's outfit the team. The occultist is the main healer, so he gets the scroll and a worry stone. We still have one of those. Oh. Not unequipped sword. So the highwayman gets the flashfire gunpowder, and also the steady bracer should be pretty good for him. For the bounty hunter, we have the crime lord's molars, and let's combine that with the wounding element. And for the flagellant, he gets the shard of glass and the chipped tooth. Okay, let's make sure everybody has the right abilities equipped. We're going to trade Duelist's Advance for Tracking Shot. And Sacrificial Stab for Demon's Pull, and Abyssal Artillery for Weakening Curse. And Hands from the Abyss for Vulnerability Hex. And almost nothing that Dufour had set up was right. And the Occultist ignores Stealth. That's not helpful at all. And I can get the other Bounty Hunter unique trinket if I defeat the Countess, but that's going to be a little while yet. For now, let us provision. A fairly respectable amount of food, but medicinal herbs should be able to get us more food. I will not forget the shovels this time. Definitely don't forget the anti-venom or the bandages. And torches, another of the things I often try to forget. And keys and holy water. Stop flickering. Stop that at once. And I don't need that much holy water. I usually end up dropping it anyway. And the blood. May as well bring 6 of them because we have an almost unlimited supply of the blood. And on to the next mission.
Even the fiercest beast will lay down when it is not eaten. Steal their food.
Well, that was some epic scouting. And it revealed a total of 0 quest locations. None of the quest locations is in this part of the map, apparently. Well, I need to explore these 2 hallways in this room, so we're going this way. Cultists and skeletons. Well, it could be worse. It could be pigs. Vulnerability hex on the Enchantress. There is a plan. Punish on the Gladiator. Pistol shot on the Enchantress. And that isn't a kill because of course it is. But because of the Crime Lord's molars, he already gets bonus damage versus bleeding, so I don't need the target to be marked to kill them. Unfortunately, this means the Enchantress does get to take an action. I was hoping to one-shot with pistol shot, but that would require me to be lucky, and I am never lucky. Okay, that's not true. I get lucky occasionally. Grulart, on the other hand, he's not so lucky. Grape shot blast to the Enchantress,
As the fiend
and almost
falls,
the conscript.
a faint hope blossoms.
And collect bounty to finish off the conscript. And there we go. Decent loot, too, for such an easy
Success
fight.
so clearly in
Though
view.
I'm sure the bounty hunter does not
Or
feel like
is
that
it
was an
merely
easy
a
fight.
trick of the light? A fortune waiting to be spent.
I'm pretty sure I do not need more than the 5 invitations I've already got. Not to mention the reasonably high probability of, encountering a gatekeeper just as a regular enemy. And pigs! I should be able to 2-shot the Enchantress with pistol shot. The Rain of Sorrows may accelerate the process a little bit. And collect bounty with no damage enhancement beyond the, what's it called? Beyond the fact that it deals extra damage to human. But can I kill him with Weakening Curse? I can!
Their formation is
You
broken.
died to a debuff.
Maintain the offensive.
Okay, so we still have to deal with the 2 pigs. The cultists are done now. I may as well do one more Rain of Sorrows, because that will finish off the Reaver. And perfect. I have the opportunity to use vulnerability hex on the SWAT. No, this is the Reaver. This is the spawn. Okay, may as well open a vein on him because you can't hit him with pistol shot. But now he's bleeding, marked, and human. I can't wait to see what Collect Bounty does to this guy.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
13 to 29 without a critical. And 21, which is plenty.
Slowly. Gently. This is how a life is taken.
And we'll drop the holy water for the portraits. Not that heirlooms are that important right now. And yeah, that wasn't terribly helpful. Okay, no scouting, so into the darkness we go. And the darkness contains maggots, which means we should be prepared to be gravely nimble.
Another one falls.
Go punish.
Executed
That's
with
2.
impunity.
That's 3. And Weakening Curse for those. Weakening Curse does more damage than vulnerability hacks. This is kind of funny as a little extra feature of that ability. It does just slightly more damage. We've got the Jade for the Emerald, and I'm actually going to drop the extra stack of torches for the gold. We still have 8 torches and firewood, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a fight. Especially since the Swinotar is already in position. And yeah, Punish reduces bleeding resistance. Alright, Mark. I'm actually going to go for Collect Bounty since it already does elevated damage since he's bleeding. And that way I can use vulnerability next to mark the target.
Executed.
Gotta love those 1 damage criticals. And we're already almost rid of the corpse. And Tentacle Devour even missed. Now we just need to deal with Pig Spear, which did pretty much what we all expected it to do. So just punish the Swinotar. Pistol shot to get the corpse.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Okay, and yeah, let's give the bounty hunter some of the blood. Didn't do as much as I was hoping it would do, but let's combine that with vulnerability hacks. It also reduces his dodge to a nice, comfortable 0. And he didn't use Trot Retreat, which means that I can still hit him with Collect Bounty next turn. Perfect. Starting a pistol shot, which does 8. And now we get critical healing. And Collect Bounty. And Punish. Okay, we've got him. That was not as bad as I expected it to be. Yes, I have just started expecting things to go horribly wrong.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
Still no quest located. They're just all bunched over in this side of the map. And it's a good thing I have tracking shot. Alright, this will mark the Madman for death. Not a lot for the bounty hunter to do. I really wish he hadn't gone first. Since in a couple of turns, the Flagellant should be able to handle these guys with Brain of Sorrows. What I really need is tracking shot.
A brilliant confluence of skill
And now I just need.
purpose.
Oh, and now we're just balancing out the. Now we're just balancing out that 44 healing critical by healing for 1. And may as well collect bounty on the spawn to get rid of it. And pistol shot on the Madman to get rid of
Continue
it.
the onslaught. Destroy them all.
In hindsight, I actually probably should have used tracking shot to get rid of stealth, but he's out of stealth anyway now. Alright, stick with Brain of Sorrows for the Flagellant. Frankly, bleeding is the only way to damage these things efficiently. And I guess Rulard has decided to just point at a corpse instead of doing anything.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
And I have a plan. Let's waste a turn and get some healing. Do you just not like Highwaymen or something,
Confidence
Dufour?
surges as the enemy crumbles.
Here, drop the medicinal herbs for the sapphires. I think Dufour just doesn't approve of the Highwayman's former profession, and so he just keeps refusing to heal him properly. And still no scouting, as we used up all the scouting right at the beginning.
Such blockages are unsurprising. These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
Okay, found one of the foodstuff crates. The question is what to... I'll drop... I actually dropped the crests. I have like 100 and some of them back at the
Finding the
hamlet.
stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Loot the rack of blades for nothing I can carry. Actually, I should have just eaten the food right there. And after this fight is actually probably a good time to make camp. Let's go with collect bounty. You have a good chance to one shot, especially if you get a critical. I've come to collect. Vulnerability hacks on the new drummer pig, because that should be enough combined with pistol shot to finish him off. And punish on the other corpse eater, just to try to get rid of it quickly. Well, quickly-ish. And nope, I overestimated the damage of pistol shot again. I always do that. I always think you can one-shot things that it can't. Sorrow. And vomit, because of course. Okay, he's not going to be brought to death's door by vomit. Destruction. Collect bounty. That's the kind of damage numbers I want to see on a marked target. And pistol shot. There we go.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
They can. You can afford to feast.
Gathered close in tenuous firelight and uneasy companionship.
I don't have bandit's sense. In fact, I don't believe I have any abilities that prevent nighttime ambush. So, well, we're going to be taking a bit of a risk. I'm going to gamble on Gallows Humor, and I'm going to lose that gamble. I'm going to use Clean Guns, and then using Courage on the Bounty Hunter. And I may as well have him use This Is How We Do It. Yeah, Grulart is going to need some stress treatment when this is all over.
And now,
and
the darkness holds dominion.
Got another midnight surprise.
Black as death.
And I can't light a torch either. I don't think. Yep, indeed I cannot. Let's get approximately back into formation. Rain of failure on the enemy. Okay. This is going to be a bit tough at 0 torch level. Start with vulnerability since it also reduces the enemy's dodge. Yeah, the music is different at 0 torch. It's a lot scarier sounding. And pistol shot. And it still fails to one-shot something, because of course it does. This is unfortunately going to be kind of a long fight. And Rain of Sorrow. And that's at least a start for the Gorer. In fact, even if I don't manage to cause any other damage to the Gorer, he will die from the bleeding. Right, collect bounty on the spawn, so there's at least fewer things attacking us. Ow. And at least I have the Gorers basically where I want them. Oh! And I guess pistol shot finally decided to come through for me and get the one shot I so desperately needed. And with a critical, no less. I just need to hit the thing with punish. And even more criticals. I guess the team just got impatient again.
Be wary.
Hit the Onyx with
Triumphant
gold.
pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Back into formation. Okay, 2 more quest locations somewhere in this whole area. I mean, there isn't much of this place left. There's just a couple of rooms and a couple of hallways.
Born.
And I have scouting, which might reveal whether or not Yep, it does reveal whether or not I need to go down this hallway. Okay, that's the second quest location is right down this way. Okay. Gonna use up the rest of my use up the rest of one stack of food so I can grab the food stuff crate. Okay, that's 2. And a bumper crop could be really helpful with what I have planned for next week. Right. And hunger. First time we've had that happen so far. It means we get engaged in everyone's favorite game, cannibalism for fun and profit. Okay, corpse eaters and a pig. Rhinoceros. Bounty Hunter can pretty reliably one-shot the corpse eaters without any setup. But to make really sure that he dies, I'm setting up anyway. Pistol shot on the pig in the back. And collect them. Okay, we just have to deal with 2 corpse eaters. And our first instance of blight this episode. A little surprised it took this long for that to happen.
Struck.
And go for anti-venom and fire, just to end the fight.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
And we found a secret room, and the last quest location is literally in the last room that we go to. Alright, this is an heirloom chest. Let's see if it gives us anything useful.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
And I'm not dropping anything for 100 gold. And we have a pack laden with loot. Is it low on supplies? No, it's actually pretty okay for supplies. Alright. Actually, I have a better idea. I'm gonna do this after I do the quest location. Because that way I can afford to drop
In Radiance,
everything.
may we find victory.
And another large corpse eater. At least it's not a, at least there's not a swine, whatever the swinatar. At least there's not a swinatar in here, too. It's just a, I'm actually just gonna go with collect bounty because I have other heroes that can mark the corpse eater. And I'll just let the flagellant handle the other 2 by himself. Because he can pretty reliably do that. Vulnerability next to prepare the corpse eater for death. And it goes for weakened prey. Minus 40% damage. Wow. Didn't realize it was that powerful of a debuff. Anti-venom. Rain of Sorrows. Rain of Pain. Oh, I may as well use Weakening first. I believe these 2 will both bleed out next turn. And collect bounty. The bounty hunter has reduced damage, but the corpse eater has reduced protection.
The bigger
And
the
pistol
beast,
shot manages to kill
the
something.
greater the glory.
Oh, never mind. The enchantress had enough health to survive. Well, I can finish her off easily enough. Like so. I'll be honest, I was half expecting pistol shot to miss.
Foolish horrors, brought low and driven into the mud.
I'll light an extra torch, drop the torches, collect the
Wealth
loot, and
beyond
drop
measure.
something from that, and continue
Awarded to
adventuring.
the brave and the foolhardy alike.
And now, oh, wait, can I click directly on this? Okay, I can't click directly on this. Oh, come on. And it's a gatekeeper, too. I called it. I didn't want it to be true, but I called it. Here we go. Alright. Vulnerability hex to reduce its dodge of 30 down to something a bit more. And it resists the debuff, because of course it does. But it doesn't matter. Gatekeeper is dead. As it should be. Let's redeem. A quick heal the flagellant for a lot. And since you can't one-shot anything, you may as well go for the supplicant. And our first affliction of the episode. And it's always an affliction because the flagellant always becomes rapturous.
Wherefore, heroism.
Fortunately, bloodsuckers have very low bleed resistance. Now we're down to just the sycophants. And, so this one's weakening curse, actually mostly for the damage. If it doesn't use the thirst on its next turn, it's done. And it doesn't use the thirst. Okay. We can focus on the other one now. So, of course, that one decides to use the thirst and go into buffed mode. Well, it came within range of punish, so at least I have some benefit from this. Okay, grab a bandage, because I haven't dropped those yet, and open a vein. Haha! I set the highwayman up to primarily use guns, and here he is killing things with his knife. And I really should have used weakening curse there, not that it matters. Especially not when Goulart does that.
As victories mount,
anti-venom for the
so
Countess's
too will
invitation.
resistance.
You know, we may as well grab the invitation if they're going to give it to us. And skeleton key. And we drop the bandages, the keys, and the food. Now we can go home.
These foodstuffs yield double benefit. The town may eat, and the swine will not.
Got a handful of heirlooms, but as I said, I haven't really been focusing on heirlooms all that much. My priority is having enough gold to upgrade everyone. And I wanted to call him a plague doctor. The occultist has reduced critical
from
chance.
those few surrounding farms as yet untouched by the spreading calamity. Let's
treat the flagellant. And now let's treat the bounty hunter. Fortunately, he can't spread the Crimson Curse to the caretaker or the town crier. Okay. Let's see, is there anybody whose equipment I can upgrade? Stafford could have his armor. That's the guild. I'm going for the blacksmith. Stafford could have his armor upgraded. I'm not as concerned about keeping certain classes' weapons fully upgraded. Yeah, you don't unlock level 4 weapons until you are level 5. Okay, so basically everyone's equipment is as upgraded as I could want it to be. Let's see about abilities. Petramol is good. Holland is good. Makil is good. Foliot needs a couple of upgrades. You know, it is worth upgrading Weakening Curse a little bit too for Stafford. Alright. Now for the mid-level. Oh, there's one more champion to check on. And now for the mid-level. 2 more champions to check on. I always lose track of how many champions I have. Now for the mid-level people. Let's see. You know, I'll actually upgrade the Antiquarian's Flash Powder. It is pretty good. Gale, unsurprisingly, is fully upgraded. aren't a lot of upgrades left for me to get yet for most of my heroes. At this point, what they need is experience. In fact, I've almost reached the bottom of the stack, and there's only a few people that have anything that can be upgraded. And the newly arrived people shouldn't. See, invigorating vapors isn't very good. But I may as well have this antiquarian learn fortifying vapors. Okay, well, let's see about buying any new special trinkets. Brawler's Gloves, plus 25% damage if in position 1. That could potentially be very useful. I'm going to buy that. And now we're out of money. But we have a bumper crop. Which, in my opinion, is the perfect opportunity to challenge the Countess again. So the question is, who are we bringing? We have to bring a Vestal. Otherwise... let's see. Let's bring a Hellion. An Abomination, and a Crusader. Actually, I have an idea for a fairly specific combo I want to use, but it requires me to have a Crusader who has decently upgraded Holy Lance, which conveniently I can afford to do because we have a bumper crop, so I don't need to fund this expedition. This way, if the Abomination transforms, he can rush forward, and I can then Holy Lance the Crusader forward to balance that out. So let's drop Zealous Accusation for Holy Lance for now. Since I don't know which battles are going to require that, I may as well keep Holy Lance equipped all the time. Okay, unequip all trinkets. Sort. I'll give the Vestal the Ancestor Scroll and a Worry Stone because I don't want the damage and stun effect reduction of the Tome of Holy Healing and the Sacred Scroll. And the Abomination gets the Osmond Chains, and the Shameful Shroud. That boosts his damage in position 1. I want to change my team composition in response to that. You know what? Yeah, let's drop the Crusader for a Highwayman. Grapeshot Blast could be useful. Open Vein will definitely be useful. That might be a better setup. And then... the main thing I want him to have is... I'm not sure what specifically to equip him with. Let's see. Nothing really stands out as being good to equip him with. There are, I don't know, there's a lot of enemies that use stun abilities, so I'm not even sure I want to use the Flashfire Gunpowder. So... I'll go with the Ancestor's Candle, and then, I'll go with something simple. I'll just give him a Life Crystal. For the Hellion, unfortunately, I no longer have the Lioness Warpaint. Instead, she gets the Brawler's Gloves and the Warrior's Bracer. Actually, no, I'm sure there's something else I can give her that boosts her attack, her damage more. Do I not have any legendary bracers anymore? Have I lost all of those? It looks like I have. In that case, I will just give her the Warrior's Bracer. I really need to visit the Shrieker sometime and get some of my trinkets back. There's some really good equipment that we've just lost. Okay, consume the invitation that we just got. And there's no real reason to be conservative because nothing costs anything. Plenty of anti-venom and plenty of bandages. Let's just bring 2 full stacks of each. Some keys, some medicinal herbs, a little holy water. Okay, let's see how far we make it this time. Where are we? Yeah, so that's the red lock, so we may as well go this way and see what we find. Zoom in a little bit so that I can properly see things. Okay, that's stress relief. I'm going to save that for later, because we might need it later. Okay, and every time I go over to the map gets confused. And we've already needed a shovel. In hindsight, I probably should have brought more of those. I was a little concerned about inventory space. Okay, one more curio, no room. Another one of these. Spirits command me to do this. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I figured that was a possible effect of interacting with that. And now we fight something. Okay, this is only a moderately dangerous group of enemies. Whoa. Yeah, already. Yeah, the Vestal stress is already above 50%, and it's the first round. And Midnight Minuet, because you have to do so. Because if the courtesan is only going to get 1 turn, she has to use that turn to do something weird.
Press this advantage.
Okay, we're rid of the courtesan first. Now it's just for the weaker enemies. Stun the manservant. Success! And the thirst finally manages to miss something. That's welcome. Manacle the sycophant. And since he's out for the next turn, let's have everyone else focus on the other sycophant. Let's see if we can dazzle him. Okay, so now we only have to deal with the manservant. So it's time to ask the age-old question of the Hellion, can you kill this? And the answer is yes, as it should be.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
And manacle again. And grape shot blast.
Their formation is
and unfortunately
broken.
I missed somebody.
Maintain the offensive.
Go for judgment. And unfortunately judgment also missed. Well, let's see about Wicked Hack. And and Wicked Hack also missed. And it's going for the thirst, which means the fight isn't quite over yet. Now it is. There we go. Oh, this is absolution. I may as well just go for... Oh, I don't have Adrenaline Rush on this Hellion. I only have Barbaric Yaw. Let me change that.
Abatement.
Barbaric Yaw isn't useless, but Adrenaline Rush is better.
A momentary abatement. As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Barbaric Yaw for Adrenaline Rush, also level 5. Okay, which of these is more likely to lead me to where I want to go? Well, this appears to be leading me to the other side of this locked room, so I'm going to go this way. I know I could explore more thoroughly and get better loot, and maybe I should do that, but, well, I'm not certain we can complete the mission at all, basically, and so I want to focus on just getting the mission completed, even if it means missing out on some things that would have been helpful. Okay, you at least resisted the bleeding from your bad decisions there, Counter. And our first Chevalier of the evening. I'm sure he won't be much of a problem at all. Okay. Can't reach him with open vein, but I can reach him with pistol shot. Ooh! Big pistol shot. He's been to the Darkest Dungeon, he's seen how bad it can be. Compared to that, this is nothing.
How quickly the tide turns.
And if it bleeds. Okay, that's the end of the Chevalier. That's at least one problem we don't have to deal with. Let's stun the courtesan. Yeah, because next turn he will bleed out and then he'll be gone. Alright, open vein on the courtesan. Yeah, I'm just leaving the sycophant and the manservant for later. They're dangerous, but they're not as dangerous as the other two. Right, and manacles. Failed to get the stun, but at this point it doesn't. And now she goes first, and that is what I was trying to prevent. Though in order to do that, she had to bring herself within range of Wicked Hack.
Decimated.
Alright. Shay.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
And sticking with choice cut, apparently. Well, I guess they see that we can inflict bleeding damage and decide they want to inflict some bleeding damage of their own. Wait, bombing run is like stress wave, where it can hit any combination of positions that it wants to? I didn't know that. That's interesting. Advantages and judgment. And that also failed. I mean, dodge of 37 is going to be a bit of a thing. Manacle. Okay, we have another round of stun. Or we can just kill. That works too.
Destroy them all.
Okay, and yeah, just give the blood to Jay's craving. Bloodlust could actually be useful, especially if I transform it. Okay, Conter just cannot resist just sticking her fingers into things that she shouldn't. She keeps getting herself into trouble by doing it. Okay, I have a suspicion that this will lead to some intermediate room, which will then lead to this room, which will then lead back to this room, and I don't actually need the red key. So instead, I'm going this way. Now, there's a possibility that this will then lead to this, but I think it won't, because if it did, there's even less reason for the red room to exist. Though if it does, that just means the correct way to go is here. And I've wasted a whole bunch of time needlessly. And we found... I wouldn't eat any food that you found there, but then again, I am going to feed it to the Vestal because she clearly doesn't know any better. That's... Again? Yes, you should have known better. Apparently... One of these days, Still no, apparently. What does he... Gray Rot. Plus 20% max HP, but reduced accuracy and damage. One of these days, I'm actually going to find out what the curio interaction is for that thing. But that day apparently is not today. Okay, more stress relief, and the Vestal needs it the most because she keeps doing things that she keeps doing self-destructive things. And more enemies. Okay. Manifold of Sycophant. If you can prevent it from using the thirst, that would be good. Ow.
To a killing blow.
Instead, somebody else uses the thirst, but using it from full HP is less of a problem. Okay. Pistol shot on the Squire. And of course he uses skewering repartee. Okay, if we can get rid of the Squire, the rest of the enemies aren't that bad. On the other hand, that is a bit easier said than done. Unless you get a critical, and then that happens. Okay, that just leaves the regular enemies. Okay, and it didn't go for the thirst. That is good. And try manacling it again, and this time it's dead. Alright. Feel the wrath of the hopeless. Unfortunately, the manservant apparently wants to avenge the mosquito. If it bleeds, get around the high protection. And we need big healing. And we got big healing. Well, big-ish healing. Another open vein to get it even more bleeding. There we go. That'll do you. That just leaves the manservant. And, of course, as soon as the Vestal isn't in danger of having a resolve check, now the Hellion is.
Strike.
And wicked miss. Get in a bit more healing. And may as well go for another manacle.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yes. Nothing escapes the eyes of the Warhawk. So she just randomly has a resolve check. So it has like the blood for treasure, but not very useful treasure.
For a task well performed.
So just randomly takes a step and gets a stress tick. But okay, I know this is a bad idea, but I'm doing it anyway. I'm gonna go this way and see what happens. And what happens is a large flesh eater. That's what happens. Like I said, I knew it was a bad idea. Let's manacle the courtesan. I want to remove her from the fight quickly. Open vein on the large flesh eater. And if it bleeds on the courtesan. And it fails to bleed, so I still need to hit her one more time for her to die. So as long as the highwayman goes before the courtesan, we should be fine.
Palpable fear.
I can't reach her with grape shot blast, but I can with pistol shot. Okay, that's the courtesan gone. Let's see if I can stun the flesh eater. I've had a lot of luck with stunning abilities this episode. Or at least this fight. This mission. Mission! That is the word that I am looking for. Right, if it bleeds... And that was a rather inglorious end to that round. Okay, at this point I'm going to prioritize getting rid of the Sycophant because it can heal itself. And rid of it, we have got. Right, Divine Grace. Now the question is, which is likely to do more damage? Wicked Hack or if it bleeds? Wicked Hack only does slightly less total damage, but if it bleeds, deals damage over time. And the answer is, it's a trick question. Neither will hit. And that's what I was afraid would happen.
Perched at the very precipice of oblivion.
With open vein, because bleeding is seems to have been relatively effective. Manacles, because a stun would be really helpful. And we have it! We have the stun that we need. Thank you, Foliot. You saved the Hellian's life. So focused means you randomly give your teammates boosts to their accuracy and critical rate?
Prodigious
That's
size
incredible.
alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
And I'm gonna drop one of the torches for the firewood, and I'll drop the holy water for the other firewood. We got 2 firewood now. Our survivability just increased a lot. And this entire endeavor was completely pointless. I should have gone the other way. Lovely. Commence backtracking. And of course, for whatever reason, it's like you can sense when we're backtracking, and that's when it tends to give us hunger. Well, I suppose it kind of makes sense. It can sense it because the highlighted squares are the ones we've been to before. The unhighlighted squares are the ones where we haven't. Though it might also just be that when you're backtracking, you're more likely to cover a large number of squares in less time because you aren't having curio interactions in combat, and so you just you notice hunger more, or because there's essentially more. Let me try to remember how to talk for a second. So, the chance of having hunger per tick is the same no matter what, but a tick happens every time you walk over a square in a hallway, and so since you aren't having hallway battles or curio interactions, it takes less time to cover the same number of ticks, which results in hunger happening more often when you're backtracking, even though the odds of hunger happening are basically the same regardless. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. We have almost finished the backtracking, then we can make camp, and then we can actually proceed in the direction we should have gone the entire time. Let's make camp. We can afford to feast,
A spark
and
without
we need the
kindling
stress reduction.
is a goal without hope.
Okay, I have Sanctuary. I don't have any abilities that
The
remove
wounds
mortality
of war
debuffs.
can be healed, but never hidden.
And unfortunately, the only one who has Encourage is the Vestal. We have the Hellion use Sharpened Spear. And the Highwayman use Unparalleled Finesse. And at least we won't have any Midnight Surprises. Okay, forward into the unknown. Of course, the other possibility is that the Countess is at, like, the center of this circular area, but I seriously doubt that. And I have the red key! Okay. Would that mean that this is going to be a dead end?
Carelessness will find no clemency in
Okay,
this
fortunately
place.
this is a relatively weak group of enemies. Having said that, they're probably going to ruin everything somehow. Excuse the cough. Alright, Manacle the Sycophant to reduce the probability that it manages to use the Thirst, and kill it to further reduce the probability that it manages to use the Thirst. Wicked Hack. Wicked Hack and a Wicked Crit.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled.
I
They
am
can
never
be beaten.
I am never going to find out what curio. Okay, So now we've encountered the green lock, and we have the red key. Which means even more backtracking. But since I have the red key, and I doubt I can drop the red key, I may as well actually go to the red door. I'll still find out one way or another whether or not this route leads to the same place as the red door. So I may as well just go back there and see what happens. Which means even more backtracking, which means even more opportunities for hunger. But we still have 12 food. And here we go. And the Vestal is paranoid. Now we have our first actual
affliction. The walls close in. The shadows whisper of conspiracy.
I feel like the affliction lines sound different when they're not said, when they're not paired with the combat music. There's a particular effect that they have when they're said alongside the battle music to imply that it's happening in the middle of the fight. Anyway, if I get a few more of the cocoons, I might actually be able to get rid of the affliction. I need to find the green key, which I'm fairly certain is, and more cocoons. Perfect. Okay, one more set of cocoons or any other real significant stress reduction in the... And speak of the devil. There it goes. Okay, that's the end of the one affliction. This is going better than it has any right to be. Of course, now I have another Chevalier. That's going to be a bit of a thing. Part of what makes them challenging is that they tend to stay in the back. Okay, I can reach this one with pistol shot. I can also reach it with if it bleeds. And the second hero has the Crimson Curse. Oh, it's bound to happen sooner or later. Okay, manacle him to stop him from attacking. Success! So clearly in view. And let's give him some judgment. Let's give him a taste of judgment. Alright. And if it bleeds... And it does not bleed. Okay. Fortunately, he's at least low on health. If I can avoid being hit by Buried Blast this mission, that would be very nice. Manacles will not kill. Beast Bile will also not kill, especially with how high his blight resistance is. Technically speaking, Manacles could stun, it's just unlikely. And apparently everything is going to go before the Chevalier does. He has low speed. And let's see if Judgment can do the job. It can. Wonderful. Soul stinks of blood and conquest. And that's the plus 10 accuracy and critical chance. That is a really useful effect of a virtue. And pistol shot with a 30% critical chance. Still didn't manage the critical, but it would have been nice. Well, Manacle will finish the job thanks to the Osmond chains. Bandage. And let's go for some healing since this fight's wrapping up. Okay, and of course it goes for the thirst. I'm sure their AI is programmed to prioritize going for the thirst when their health is low.
A devastating
Not
blow.
that it saved it.
This expedition at least promises success.
Okay, and I have the red key, so like I said, I may as well go through here because I doubt it would let me drop the red key anyway, so I may as well free up the inventory space. Wait. So this would have led me to another lock. There's two red locks. but I don't need the green key for anything. I mean, I'm sure there's some valuable loot there, but I can challenge the Countess. Okay, I realize that I'm potentially leaving money on the table by not collecting whatever this loot is, but I also have no idea where I would go to get the loot in question, or to get the key for it. So I'm gonna go after the Countess. Start by making camp, feasting.
Huddled together, furtive and vulnerable, rats in a maze.
Use sanctuary to prevent nighttime ambush. Use encourage on the highwayman. And then let's also go with chant to reduce his stress even further. And then sharpen spear. Alright, like I said, I may be leaving behind a valuable piece of loot, but I'm not going to risk it. I gotta see if I can get rid of the Countess. Room battle with Curio. Trade blood for treasure.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
And it's all the wizened shrew. It's all wizened shrews. So, oh god damn it! This is gonna be one of those. Contour is just gonna keep getting triggered, and I completely forgot about the trap. But so this is like the. Wait a second. They're two different, hooded shrew versus wizened shrew. Okay, hooded shrew gives me nothing of importance. What about the wizened shrew? Oh, darn it. Let me interact with the wizened shrew.
Hacks laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Let's drop one of the two. Let's drop the bag of marbles for the sapphire. That was actually probably a mistake. Okay, and I actually get to interact with this wizened shrew. And it's the same effect as the other one. So, never mind, there isn't a difference. I was wondering if there was a difference in how they interact. Okay. Let's see what we get. The Countess.
The Countess arrives, anomalous in aspect, and bent on exacting terrible revenge from beyond the bounds of decency.
And I'm going straight into transform. And slam. Bleed resistance is 90%. Open vein does 6 to 11. Pistol shot does 7 to 12. So I'll go pistol shot, since it's actually more likely to do bigger damage. Okay, sway with me. That probably is it isn't a shuffle ability. I was expecting that to shuffle. Oh, it is. It's just we all resisted it. And Wicked Hack. Yeah, the Countess is not going to be easy to defeat. What the fuck did she just do? That is distressing in every imaginable way. Ugh. Love letter. That's a parasite of some kind, clearly. Okay, and apparently it also... Wait. Shuffle over time? This ability inflicts shuffle over time. So you just have a chance to move after... to be shuffled on your turn for the rest of... Okay. Some anti-venom. Really be nice to know what the love letter effect does, but... Sticking with pistol shot. Come forth. Momentary overexertion. Okay, that buffs her very briefly.
Impressive.
Okay, that buffs the momentary overexertion. Okay, so come forth. So the metamorphosis.
Knowing uncertainty.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that inflicts horror.
Birthplace of dread.
Oh shit. And now it's also managed to inflict horror on me because apparently the Countess has access to the thirst. And rage did almost nothing. Okay, now you can't use anything else. You may as well go for open vein and miss. And she uses the thirst again. Oh God, we're all gonna die. Yeah, that's the stress starting to affect me.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
Courtship renew. Okay, so she changes back to her humanoid-ish form. Okay, and I can still use If It Bleeds from position 3. And more parasites. So she can only heal herself intermittently. Alright, that's at least somewhat good. And let's use Slam to also reduce her dodge a bit. Unless she resists the debuff. And a Pistol Shot to reduce her hit points a little bit. Okay, we've got her below 300. But the Countess is terrifyingly powerful. Sway with me is a shuffle ability, but it's a bit more complicated than a normal shuffle ability. And our third resolve check, and he's powerful.
Anger is power. Unleash it.
Okay. And the Hellion is back exactly where she should be. Wicked Half. Okay, well, we're gonna... I can't believe the level of luck that I have gotten in this mission. I have had 3 resolve checks. 2 of them resulted in the heroes in question being, virtuous. And the third was I was able to undo it almost immediately. And Pistol Shot. This is the... And he's at death's door now. Okay, fortunately I can heal the Highwayman. And... like, seriously, the sheer degree of luck that I have gotten in this mission is unbelievable. I'm actually... her bleeding resistance is 100%. Well, 40% chance to bleed. I'm going for If It Bleeds in the hopes of potentially counteracting the effects of healing. And Foliot's resolve is tested. Okay, and he's fearful. It would have been way too much to ask for...
finally claim their due.
It would have been way too much to ask for the Abomination to also be virtuous. On the other hand, this also means that the Abomination is now... so I'll go with oh. Unfortunately, this also means the Abomination de-transformed and may not be able to change back. Pistol Shot. We are chewing through her hit points relatively quickly, though. But now she uses Metamorphosis, and that means she has access to the Thirst. Her other abilities aren't that dangerous, but her ability to heal herself is. Especially when she regains 20 hit points by using it once. Okay, stunning the guy who already has a tendency to randomly skip his turns. Yeah, that's not a problem at all. That, however, is a very large problem, especially with the amount of damage it just did to the Vestal also.
Set the stage for heroism.
Contour, heal yourself so that when the insects come forth, you won't immediately die. And then Courtship renewed and she returns to her humanoid form. Okay, that's not as bad as it could have been. But that's just going to draw out the already long fight. Yes, and I can't use Transform anymore. Which means I'm just stuck with Manacles, which means one of my highest damage heroes is now not able to inflict proper damage anymore. That still is a big problem, but I can't complain too much because of how incredibly lucky I have gotten throughout this mission so far. Okay, sway with me. Fortunately, this is a moderately shuffle-resistant team. And only one person was actually affected by the shuffle over time. I forgot, because I cured...
Adversity can foster hope and resilience.
I feel like I should go out and buy a lottery ticket. We have had 5 resolve checks and 3 heroes come out virtuous. That's That's not supposed to happen. That is not supposed to happen at all. Flushed means she's preparing to transform. Stick with manacles. There is a small chance that it stuns. And it does, it's at least doing something. Use anti-venom and just go for divine comfort. Everybody needs some healing. Right. And wicked hack. Oh! That was a wicked hack, alright. And pistol shot, and she's already down to 80, even though she can heal herself. Right, she uses momentary overexertion before, which powers her up before she uses, you just move forward one. Another pistol shot. And yeah, come forth was bound to happen eventually. And that's the worst possible shuffling that could have happened. Alright. Stick with Wicked Hack. We're holding up. We're holding together. We're almost there. Move back one. Indecent proposal. That's new.
And now the true test.
Okay, somebody's at
Hold
death's
fast
door.
Or expire.
And all that Foliot can do to contribute is to move forward. Okay. Thirst still healed her for 20. And pistol shot damaged her for 0. Okay, she's not targeting the guy who's at death's door. That. Thank the Heart of Darkness for small mercies. Okay, we're almost there. Courtship renewed. Okay, she's back to normal. She only healed herself once. And that doesn't direct... Yes, it does. That does cause damage. So Love Letter actually does cause a death blow check. Everyone needs healing. And that still leaves us with 3 heroes who actually have the ability to attack. To do varying degrees of damage. Okay, sway with me. That could be very bad, or it could be not bad at all. Okay. Nobody is actually... Oh, God.
Blurred vision. The end approaches.
Okay, well, the Hellions survived that experience somehow. Still not exactly sure how she managed that. But 2 people are at death's door right now. Okay, flush. That means that doesn't inflict damage. Alright. Go first. Manacles. 1 crit... I actually managed to stun the Countess. I mean, the odds of it were always non-zero, but I've never managed to stun her yet. Okay, 1 more good hit. Well, I mean, it needs to be a critical, or 2 non-critical hits, and if it bleeds, if it hits, she dies. Her last dance.
And the world is better for it.
Last Will and Testament, leper only. Plus 15% protection, plus 15% maximum HP, minus 10% death blow resistance. So high risk, high reward, basically. And then the Blood Pact, occultist only. Plus 4 speed if torch below 60. Plus 25% damage if torch below 60. Minus 25% bleed skill chance. And then if it's combined with his other one, it's plus 15 dodge. But that's kind of a cheeky little thing there, because the reduced bleed skill chance is actually a positive, because it means that he can't. It means he's less likely to cause bleed with when healing people. And we get a blueprint. And what is in this box? Oh,
Trinkets and baubles. Paid for in blood.
Okay, I'm going to do something stupid now. I am going to use the green key. I know this is a mistake. I know that I'm endangering the survival of the few remaining heroes who... I'm endangering the survival of the heroes who already barely survived. I know that I'm endangering the survival of the heroes who already barely survived, but I have to see what's behind that door. I just have to see what's back there, and I know that I won't get another chance to do this if I don't go through the door of denial now. So, let's find out. I didn't drop the food, so I can deal with one instance of hunger. And frankly, considering the fact that... Wait. I was going to say 3/4 of my team are virtuous, but... So when you reach 200 stress, if you passed a virtue check when you reach 200 stress, you stop being virtuous anymore. You revert to just normal. Huh. So if you get 0 stress, if you're afflicted and you get 0 stress, you revert to normal. And if you are virtuous and you get 200 stress, you revert to normal. That is interesting. It makes sense, actually. The idea is sufficient stress or sufficient de-stress, either way, will return you to baseline. But that is interesting. Also, yeah, let's just take a moment to appreciate the sheer unbelievable luck that I got accomplishing this mission. I don't know that I could have won that fight without the amount of luck that I got here. Like, I honestly feel a little bad for winning it in that way because of how much it was just so... Like I said, of 5 resolve checks, 3 resulted in virtues. And of one of the 2 afflictions, I managed to get rid of it almost in extremely short order because of the cocoons. I can't believe this happened. This is just... I feel like the luckiest person in the world right now. And I can't believe all of that played out that way. And now we find out what's behind here. It's probably a shambler, isn't it? And it's just another room, but that's the possibility for another fight. Alright. What do we have here? A chest. And it's the blue key of reflection. This is confusing. Shit. Okay, and use slam on the closest chevalier. Okay. And going for the thirst immediately. At least he didn't actually put anyone on death's door. Alright. And Divine Grace on the Hellion because she desperately needs the healing. 6 to 12 with if it bleeds versus 9 to 17 with Wicked Hack. Go with Wicked Hack. And Open Vein has a decent chance of finishing the job. Okay, it will take 1 turn for it to finish. Okay, that's close enough. That's close enough to finish the job. That's 1 Hellion dealt with. And nobody stunned. 1 Hellion? That was unintentionally prophetic. 1 Chevalier dealt with. Please survive, please survive. Thank you, Touche. And another resolve check. And no surprise, this time we don't get a
Those who
virtue.
call it injury find it in no short supply.
Let's push on one of the other Chevaliers. We need to remove them fast. Okay, not targeting the person on death's door. Thank you. Get the Hellion off of death's door. And please tell me that I get to control them this turn. Oh crap, at death's door and bleeding. That's very bad.
Vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
There's not a lot of ways for this situation to be worse. Alright, bandages. Alright, if it bleeds, 6 to 10 plus bleeding, or can't reach with Wicked Hack anyway. So I need 1 more hit for that Chevalier to be dealt with. I still need it to take damage 1 more time, basically, for it.
Weaken.
Okay, that's 1 of them gone. This fight gets less insane as the, fight gets less okay, I can reach it with rage. Okay, good. Like I said, as I was trying to say, the fight gets less insane as the Chevaliers fall because they're the main threat. And Divine Comfort, because that does almost as much healing but hits the entire party.
Now.
Open Vein is 8 to 13 plus bleeding. Pistol Shot is 8 to 14. Yeah, I'm going with Open Vein for given how low their bleed resistance is. Okay, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Just a little more. You can make it.
A hand's breadth from becoming unwound.
And unfortunately, the last person who would have gotten to attack is instead stunned. Now we just need to hope the enemy doesn't target her. Alright. And sticking with rage. Okay. Someone with the Vestal will go before the Chevalier does, I'm confident. Okay, Pistol Shot does 8 to 14 and it's bleeding for 4. Open Vein does 8 to 13 and can add additional bleeding. Alright, just keep healing. Oh shit. Okay, now I just need to cross my fingers that the Chevalier doesn't target the Hellion or that this gets the kill. Actually, that got the kill, that's enough. In hindsight, I probably should have used Adrenaline Rush, though.
This is how a life.
Because there's still a slightly less than 1 in 4 chance of the Hellion. Never mind. The Vestal went first. There was a slightly less than 1 in 4 chance that the Hellion still dies. Okay. That was the most dangerous hallway battle in this entire mission.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Okay, person with the highest stress is by 1 point is the Hellion. Though she's also closer to death's door, and thus the one that I most want to prevent having a heart attack.
A hideous mutation.
Oh god.
Unnatural and abhorrent. Okay, so I presume that I'll get another unique piece of loot for defeating this thing. I'm not convinced this is a winnable fight, though. I don't know, I'm gonna try. Compassion is a rarity.
As bad of an idea as this probably is, I'm gonna try. This is the boss-like enemy from the first mission, so it's not as durable as it seems to be. Its protection is only 10%. And it only has a little more than 200 hit points.
Nerves and panic.
And unfortunately, its dodge is still a little bit high. Okay, Lurking Fear. Now its dodge isn't increased at all. It's only its protection is increased. Unfortunately, its dodge is still too high. The main concern here is stress. I can't reach it with open vein. It's a pistol shot. Okay. And if it bleeds. Okay, we're starting to wear it down, but this is going to be very hard. Stun resistance being only 90% means every time I use manacles, there's an actual real possibility of stunning this thing. Actual, real. The possibility is both actual and real. Please tell me Submerge doesn't heal you. It doesn't. It does. And cures damage over time. And moves its dodge skill to 88. But I still managed to hit. And completely undid its healing. Okay. Boucher is at death's door. But the creature is vulnerable for now. I don't remember. Part of the challenge here is I don't remember the specifics of how this thing works. Okay, we got the stun. The open vein does 10 to 17 if it hits. Okay, get big healing on the Hellion. And a big wicked hack too. I can't believe we're even close to surviving this. But we are close to surviving this. Fear buffs its damage and protection. If I can stun, that'd be real helpful, but I can't. Wait, I still have another chance to stun. So 50% chance that this stuns if it hits. And it did. Which means I can burn off one of its rounds of having increased damage. Alright, go for another bandage. And just gotta have him move back so that the Hellion can be in position 1 because of the increased damage. Okay, we're making progress. This is... Well, you heard my reaction. You heard my reaction when I saw this thing. Yeah, this is terrifying. I'm on the edge of my seat right now. Contour, just try to heal through all of the damage this thing puts out. The good news is most of its damaging abilities only hit a single target. Alright. Open Vein does 10 to 17, Pistol Shot does 11 to 18, but Open Vein has a chance to cause bleeding. Okay. Wicked Hack. Unfortunate. Alright, stress levels are getting dangerously high. This is getting into all or nothing territory. Okay, and he uses Submerge, which allows it to heal itself a little bit and remove the damage over time. Depends on how much stress it manages to cause before... Okay. I needed Wicked Hack to hit. Okay. 3/4 of the team is at death's door. Okay, I need the Vestal to go before the monster does. Thank you. Okay, and the Hellion has decided to trust to her death blow resistance. And the enemy used Lurking Fear instead of attacking. And Lurking Fear does not increase its admittedly already terrifyingly high evasion. Okay, Stun burns off one of the Lurking Fear turns. And also means one more turn during which it cannot remove bleeding. Obviously, it resisted the stun that I hit it with while it was stunned. Okay, no one is on death's door. It's bleeding for 4, and it has 16. I'll give 10% to all of you if we survive. Plus 10% critical, plus 15% damage. Thank you, Petramon. We got it! We got... Like... What? I'm still... I made it happen, but I'm still not entirely sure I can believe that this just happened.
Push on to the task's end.
Vial of Sand for the Occultist. That's the other Occultist unique. I'll drop the 100 gold for the emeralds. And then... Forgotten Strongbox.
Finding the stuff is only the first test.
The other Hellion-specific trinket, Mark of the Outcast. Plus 35% bleed skill chance, plus 15% death blow resistance, but reduced healing. I'll drop the remaining torches for that. But I still don't get to find out what the blue key does. That's probably somewhere else in this map that the Key of Reflection takes me. But let me see if I can scroll over and find anything. It must be just a dead end that I didn't reach previously, but everyone in this team is on their last legs, so let's return home before we lose anybody. 33,000 gold, 96 crests, the Countess's fan, and the Vengeful Kill list. And the one hero who went in without already being maxed out is maxed out now. Right. And everyone in this team needs stress treatment.
The rusted, moss-covered gates of the courtyard hang open, but the demoniacal pests will spread no further than its blood-soaked boundaries. And so, at last, the end of my beginning.
Of curse and Countess, waves of relief wash over the hamlet as the good news spreads. The Countess is dead. Her curse is now curable. Removes the Crimson Curse from all affected heroes. Crimson Curse is also now treatable at the sanitarium. Okay. Wait, no, Petromel is a skilled gambler. I'll have him gamble. Conter can only cloister. Let's see, where's Foliot's restriction? And Foliot probably can also only gamble. Touché. Wait, I had him drink instead of gamble. What am I doing? I'm just gonna leave that the way that that is for now. And in the meantime, let's max out the bar.
Drink, a game of chance and companionship.
I think at the bar allows Foliot to get his
life.
stress treatment. And oh, I don't quite. I almost have enough busts. Let's trade away some crests for busts to upgrade medical devices. Is there anyone who has a disease? Yeah, there are people who have diseases who aren't currently receiving stress treatment, but I cannot believe how that played out. That's just insane. There's no other word to describe what just happened than insane. I can't believe we managed to beat a second crocodilian after everything else. I can't believe I got that many virtues in one mission. Like I said, I feel like I should go buy a lottery ticket or something. And with that, the Countess is finally done. And I know I only did 2 missions, but considering how long that Countess mission went, and the fact that I did manage to defeat a boss in this episode so far, this is going to be the end for this part. Thank you all for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next time.